We're getting back into the mojo of things. And what do I mean by that? I mean, there's oh W catch in the chat. All right. There's like a certain type of discernment or feeling that you get once you figured out how much stuff you were struggling on. Right? And what I mean by that is you got something you're struggling on, finance, finding yourself emotional, trying to figure out what's next to come because you're in an early age, and then there's the future. You gotta figure out, in some way, manner speaking, what is really next. Oh my God, it's a lizard. Oh, he lost his tail. Is he poisonous? Is he poisonous? You don't look like, okay. Well, yeah, there's a certain type of area you're mostly thinking of, like, what is next? What is next to come? Um, I graduated almost a year ago. Graduation is back up for 2026. And now that summer's coming up again, I gotta start applying for colleges because I didn't do last time. I was more focused on sports and how many offers I can get, and then my shoulder was shot, and I was like making excuses for myself. I was procrastinating. So now we gotta do that. But one thing I always wanted to ask was, what is your addiction? What is so conflicting about things that you cannot see with yourself? What is your addiction? What is stopping you? What is hampering you from getting to the next level? Mine was procrastination. But now, believe it or not, I'm a dad now, type shit. So I got more responsibility than the the younger gents, you know? And I'm not gonna feed you any lie, like, oh, I had an epiphany, now I gotta change. I'm still the same person. I still wanna unify the world with music and all that. Who doesn't? Some people just want the fame and the money. I want a little bit more. What is your addiction? What is conflicting? What is the things you say with infliction? What I used to say? I used to just rhyme it with, like, what is your prediction on things that cause you that's conflicting, shit like that. I used to say that a lot, but I forgot it. But what I'm mainly saying is, responsibility or not, it's hard to really find yourself in one area because I was so concerned on what people used to think about me that it was hard to just get on to the next level because, believe it or not, I was a dickhead. I was a dickhead during school. I used to lie a lot. I used to cap a lot. I used to play, troll, all type of stuff. But one thing I did take serious was being a lover boy. And that got me in a lot of heartache. And I was gaslighted into believe I was the problem for most of the issues. Even though I could be done completely wrong, me just existing was the reason for so many issues. It was me pointing fingers at you did this and you did that to me that caused me to feel like, oh, was I truly deserving of this minor infliction of actions towards me? You know, shit like that. And I used to have like a over sensational realization of, dang, I truly used to hate myself due to the fact that I didn't know who I was. You know, there's always it's a battle with yourself. And with those battles comes with other things, you know? It comes with figuring out what is truly next, right? Because now that I really think about it, I really have nothing of my own to really say, you know? Everything was handed to me in some degree, right? My skin color, I guess, maybe my vernacular, how I see the perception of what I am, right? And I used to hate getting put in a box of, oh, he does spiritual shit. He does like that, spiritual psychology shit. I used to hate that. I used to hate the hyper, super aware bullshit that people used to say, the fake nonchalant act to be perceived as if they have it all figured out. I used to hate the overcomplexation of just being yourself. Being a human is difficult due to the fact that we don't have shit figured out. And practice what you preach. Practice what you preach. Because when I didn't have a child, right, I was like, if you can't afford a kid, I feel like you're doing the child a disjustice by trying to keep him knowing you can't afford. And now I still I still believe in that. I still believe in responsibility and stuff like that. But now that I see it, now that I got one, I'm like, damn, I gotta make way more money now. Cause there's one thing I told y'all this before. I want over at least when I'm up in age, like I'm in like at least 40. I want a lot of kids, gang. I want like I know this shit sound delusional, but I want up to like 15 up around there. But before I hit 25, I want at least about six. And I want those kids to not only be their own person and not just be like a random NPC just wandering the world just doing shit. I want them to have a sense of self, right? Not just worrying about what others think and what rumors are spreading about you, what they think about you. I want them to have a sense of self. I want them to have an identity that's way more than, whoa, dang, your dad does this, your dad's famous, your dad's this, or your mother is this, your mother is that. I want them to be themselves, right? But don't get me wrong. If I got that clout, if I got that shit about that age, they will be a nepo baby. I don't care. And you can see with the nepotism, right? When it comes to like giving your stuff by a family, you see they tend to gravitate towards art and creativity because you're not stressing about paying bills because everything's paid out. So you can really adapt your mind into things that you actually care for. I'm gonna give you a statistic that is made up. About 80% of people that do work only work because of the salary, the money they're making, and the comfortability that they have by having that job. Most of them dislike their job or hate their job to some degree. And how do I know that? Because, nigga, shit, I forgot. Hold on, I can't be saying I get too comfortable. Because I was unemployed for a hot little minute. Like, yes, bro, I was poor. I was poor around 17, 16. Still am a little TT. But now I'm blessed to figure out if I have too many trajectories, right? Right? But my trajectories won't be anything athletic. It won't be stuff with sports anymore because I'm like, that ship has sailed, but it'll be way harder to work my way back up. So now it's it's the attention that you crave, right? You know how people like they will say something that's so thought provoking and slow it down and so it can have a different meaning. I used to say that a lot. I'd be like, it's the attention that you crave and the intention that you do. Like, what's the intention of why you want that attention, right? Like, why do you crave it? It's like it's a dopamine spike when you get those likes, when you get those views, you get those compliments. We all love the attention, no matter what, even if it's subconsciously. When somebody's like, "Oh, I don't care what people think." If you didn't, you wouldn't have to say. You would just get on about your life, right? And to some degree, you care about everything. Every small increment about your life, you care about it. And it's hurtful. It's hurtful to think that way, but it is true. Because I can preach all day about what you should do, what you should do that. If I'm being honest, most of my problems is because I'm impoverished. I am in poverty. I am poor. Family toxicity and being impoverished. Being poor and being impoverished does psychological damage to the human mind. It's a full on fact. It's a full fact. Struggling to pay bills, struggling to eat, struggling to feed your family do psychological damage to you. And it's not just in the black community, it's in any community. And I'm not going to preach to you statistics or politics because that's not what we do here. We do it sometimes, but I try to create my own way and my own sense of opinions and ideas just due to the fact because that's why I don't really follow people on a lot of social medias. I keep the social media to like 3, even though I should be off it, right? We're in a stage of the world where your physical attributes and what you know is the best thing you can have at this point, due to the fact that technology is advancing in a high increment volume, right? So some of the shit that humans used to do will be taken over by robots, artificial intelligence, all that mumbo jumbo shit. So picking up a trade, oh, I hate saying that. Picking up a trade, learning how to fix on shit is your best thing. Or being a doctor. You gotta do shit that is truly needed, right? So in that fact, I mean truly needed in maybe a physical or mental, psychological way. So being a doctor for like health, any type of doctor, dental, anything that is with the human anatomy, be a doctor in that. That's pretty good. Or building AC, building houses. People need houses. People need AC, right? But I did that, right? I went to a little trade school. I went to advanced studies bullshit. I went that, and after 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 shit, it's probably damn. If I go to college now, I graduate 2030. It'll be 20. It would have been 2029 if I try to like really catch up. But it's just gonna be 2030 if that, because I want to be a psychologist, right? But even not, even with that degree, you still gotta do another what 2 to 3 years to really get that, to get to the not the degree, but it's something else I forgot. So you can like diagnose people with illnesses and stuff like that and put it on your insurance and shit like that, bro. It's the nitty gritty things that I gotta figure out. But I was making empty promises with myself. I'm gonna work out more. I'm gonna talk to my family more because to be honest, I stayed in the room. It's not my room, but I stayed in like this my father. My mom had a house. Mom had a couple apartments. But I think it's my biological father's stuff. So I used to stay in that room so hard and just make music and stay to myself, right? For the most part. But now I really can't do that due to the fact that I'm a father now. So I can't really just break every out. I can't be antisocial. I gotta figure out how to communicate to people in a better way than what I used to do. And I wasn't really good at communication. I wasn't good. I was very self anxious. I was very self conscious about how I looked, how I sound. That's why, the inner self hatred was built in. It was built in. And it wasn't because of the dysfunctional family I had. It wasn't because I used to get traumatized and abused and all that. It wasn't. I would never. It's none of that. It was just due to the fact that I used to question everything. I used to break shit down and be like, why does it work like that? Why is it like this? Why is it like that? And then the more wise I got, the more no's I got. The more shut up, shut up. The more shut up, AJ, shut up. Stop asking questions, just do. You know. And it was seen as more of disobedient than just wondering why. So I was like, damn. I know I can't go to the military. My father did though. Since I'm just so disobedient, I'd probably get beat up. I'd probably laugh in a drill instructor face. I just, I have come to the realization that I wasn't built for that. And what am I built for? Who knows? I look like one of them Instagram spiritual niggas that be talking about straight bullshit with this cap on. With this cap on. But, like, honestly, everybody has their own perspective. There's a bunch of TikTokers that do philosophy that spit nothing but buzzwords to make you feel like they're talking about something serious. And would be like, oh, I feel like you should internalize your self-hatred into a optimal way so you can feel better about yourself. It's basically a fancy smancy way to be like, take care of yourself. I got you, Deuce. If you want to go inside, it's a little bit hot. Go ahead. Just a fancy smancy way of saying take care of yourself. Make sure you're truly aware, you're emotionally intake, And with that, I hate saying I come to the fruition. I had an epiphany. I came to the realization. I hate saying that shit. I have truly seen that what is really stopping me is yourself. It's the self doubt. You know what I'm saying? And no amount of therapy could fix that. Like even with all the girl drama I used to have, taking that out, all the bullshit, all that, right? If you take that off, you strip that off of me, who am I? You know, who am I? Am I this thought provoking person, or I'm just this ugly, short black kid who thought he was doing something with his life because he was doing something different. I'm stuck on my head. He was doing something different per se. He was feeling like he was adding value to the world, right? You know, it's the little things. But to me, I say fuck the little things. I want my shit to be big. Whoa, pause. See, I'm still childish. I want my impact in the world to be international. You know, across the world. I want to the point where even when I'm gone, I have fans being born. That's what I want. I want it to be that impactful. Even though my name, I had a vision of this one time. I just know my name will be slandered or misstandarized. Is that the word? No, it'll just be slander or like defamation of character. Some way of speaking, you know. It'll be a rumor or something like that later on. But I feel like it'll probably hit once I'm up there fully, you know, because everything's so saturated now because everybody wants to be an artist, everybody wants to be an influence, everybody wants to be a celebrity, everybody wants to be a thought-provoking person or influential words. Everybody wants to be that, but not everybody can, right? What are you going to do that? It's getting to the point where even like the biggest people are trying to do a full on reset of their mantra, their full on reset of their personal things. Like they're doing a whole rebranding. Like, you know, like one day you see this dude as a funny, joking kid. Now he's this thought provoking philosopher that wants to speak motivation into you. You know, be like, you can do whatever you want. You know, it's just you truly don't know who's behind the camera. I can tell you this right now, and I could probably go home, go beat my mama up, shoot my daddy, all type of shit, right? You don't know who I am unless I tell you, right? And I could just be a full-on liar. I could be a full-on manipulating, narcissistic, condescending psychopath, right? Oh, so sociopath. Wait, sociopaths are made, psychopaths are born. Yeah. Either or. I can be that. You truly don't know who somebody is or are. You don't know who somebody is until you establish a so-called friendship or acquaintance or association with them for a long periods of time, so you can see their actions. But if their action is randomized and they don't have any process to it, you can't really put a finger on it, gang. I'm trying to tell you, really can't. It's crazy. I don't know, bro. Like, you just can't. It's just hard, bro. You gotta figure it out sometime, bro. I don't know. But anyway, I'ma have to cut this down. I'm gonna finish it. Some people came over. I guess I gotta go socialize now. So we're probably gonna cut it at like 19 minutes. But it was great. Yapping a little TT. Figure it out. You know. Anyway. Oh yeah, we're making music videos. Yeah, that's gonna be great. We're making music videos. Can't wait to drop those. Anyway, it was great talking to you. See you when I can. And yeah, man. Stay black.